Okay, boys and girls, now we're going to review your language arts section. Remember that our skill is that we're using terms such as chapter, scene, and stanza to refer to parts of stories, plays, and poems. Last week we focused on scenes in a play and how they build up and provide important information for the next scene. We read Stage Fright and we learned lots of important information from the first scene about Chris and his fear of giving a speech to become class president. This week we're going to focus on parts of a book, chapters. And each chapter has important details and information that help build up to the events of the next chapter. So I'm going to read aloud for you Chapter 1 of Treasure Trunk. Chapter 1. Jeb, Molly, and Ty gathered at Ty's house early on Saturday morning to work on a group assignment for class. Their fifth grade teacher, Miss Alvarez, had been teaching them about United States military history. So far, they had studied the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, and the Civil War. Their assignment was to give an oral presentation about the typical equipment used by a soldier from one of the conflicts they had studied. Jeb sat at Ty's computer, furiously typing into a search engine. "Which war do we want to do?" Jeb asked. "I don't know," Ty replied. "Molly, which one has been most interesting to you?" "They're all interesting to me," shouted Molly. Molly was the brains of the bunch. She had never earned less than an A on a quiz or a test, and Miss Alvarez was always putting Molly's work on the bulletin board. Oh, excuse me. "What would be really cool would be to find an actual item from history," said Molly. "You mean like a military artifact?" Jeb asked. Though he was not a genius, Molly was, Jeb grabbed onto ideas quickly. With his shaggy hair and skateboard attire and casual appearance, no one would guess that he was an honor roll student who loved reading. "Well, that can't be too hard to find," said Ty. "We should go to the antique shop downtown. You know, the one that's owned by Mr. Nam," Molly finished for him, and Ty agreed. "Yeah, that's the guy. He's got tons of old stuff. I think my sister Gwen could even drive us there. She's cool about stuff like that. Anyway, she usually goes downtown on Saturdays to meet up with her friends." "Great idea," Jeb said. Read through this a couple of times more with somebody else or on your own, and think about the events in this chapter that are important and might help us understand better next chapter. Okay, for writing. Our standard, again, last week we studied comparative and superlative adjectives. This week we're focusing on adverbs. And adverbs are words that describe or tell more about verbs. They tell when, like today, yesterday, never, or often, frequently. Where, here, there, everywhere. Or to what extent, completely, fully, quickly, slowly, carefully. The rules for comparative and superlative are the same. If we're comparing two verbs or actions, we'll add ER. If we're comparing three or more verbs or actions, then we add EST. Oops, looks like I have not added the examples yet, but I will do that before you are viewing it. Your assignment is to go to IXL through Clever and do QQ10. This should be using adverbs to compare. Make sure that you're in language and not math. Adverbs to compare. Our other writing skill is using conventional spelling for high-frequency words, like in word families, syllable patterns, ending rules, homophones, and homographs. And that's what so you have a video to view regarding that. And your assignment is IXL language DD1, homophone pictures. Homophones are words that sound alike. Homo means same, phone means sound, same sound, but they have different spellings and different meanings. So use the picture to help you decide which is the correct spelling. Your special for today is library. Click on this link to go to your assignment for Miss Burgess. Some of us are doing a great job of doing and submitting our specials assignments, and some of us need to focus on that a little bit. This might be a good time once you get done with your specials assignment to take a little snack and wiggle break. And then after your snack and wiggle break, I'll have a Zoom, and that will be from 1:30 to 2. So have your snack before you join me in Zoom, please. Okay, I will talk to and see some of you today. Again, I love seeing your faces. I love visiting with you. If you just want to pop in for a minute and say hi, that's fine. I like to visit with you and catch up with you, but I also would really love to be able to talk to you about some of the skills that we're working on. So I hope to see some of you today at 10:30 or 1:30.